Well, after a iffy start to the season, we've actually turned things around to the point where we could genuinely win the league, win the Conference League, win one of the 13 cups that we have to play in. This could be a super duper season, and we still haven't signed anyone over the age of 18. So, you know, thumbs ups and all that. Please, you could give us a thumbs up. That would be nice. We can actually do some transfers because we've got £13 million to spend. We were kind of rushing at the end of last stream to try and get to the point where we were top of the league, and we didn't quite make it because we bottled that last match with a 1-1 draw when we had the opportunity to go top of the league. But in all seriousness, with £13 million to spend, we should probably bring in a couple of Wonder Kids. It is the January transfer window. So let's start things off with a little bit of Wonder Kid shopping. Apparently, I slammed my team. I mean, I guess that was me slamming my team. That's live reporting. We did bottle that last match, so I am slamming my team a little bit. Let's rest everybody and have a look to see what we've got knocking about the place. Might be time to send scouts to South America. Who do you think you are, my chief scout? Because if you're not my chief scout, it's none of your business where my scouts go. They go where they want to go. I'm not going to tell my scouts what to do. Do I look like the chief scout to you? Goodness me. You little button clicker. This guy's valued at the £24 million range. Yikes. Okay, let's cheat. Let's have a look at players who are willing to sign for me and are Wonder Kids. We're cheating. This isn't non-need to legend. We can do whatever. We can do what I want. This isn't a democracy. I want to cheat. I'll cheat. Is there no Wonder Kids willing to join us? Well, that was a waste of time, wasn't it? I've just sold my soul, and there's not a single Wonder Kid out there that would be interested in signing for me. Let's just have a look to see if there are. So there is one there. He's 20, so he's no use anyway. Do you get many 18? You probably don't get any Wonder Kids. Oh, they're left backs anyway. Do you actually get Wonder Kids at 18 years old? Or do they have to get a little bit older before they become Wonder Kids? It's probably quite rare to get an 18-year-old Wonder Kid, isn't it? Let's turn that back on to the players who... Now we're not just looking for left backs. Ah! Press the buttons! Right. So, let's try this again. Which way round are they? Right, Wonder Kids are going to be up here. We're cheating. Cheaty, cheaty, cheaty. There's one. One Wonder Kid. Well, I guess we're going to sign him then. £10 million, already one cap for Mexico. We should probably scout him, but in the meantime, let's buy him. So we can get him for £10 million. Yes, please. £10 million. Here we go. That's more than £10 million. I can't help but notice. Less of this. Okay, fair enough. What position is this guy? Central midfield. The main position we don't need players. This is fine. It's absolutely fine. Let's just get him in. Should we recall the guys who are already on loan? Yeah, I mean, he should probably be recalled because he's 3 stars of current ability. Yeah, let's recall all of them. Just keep all our young players at the club. We play so many cup games, they may as well just be here. Right. I need to start learning the names of some of these players. It did occur to me the other day that I don't really know the names of any of the players here at Sporting yet. I'm being very English about the whole thing. Right, did we ever get a scout report on this guy? We haven't yet. I mean, this is a big risk. We're about to drop £11.5 million on a guy we've not scouted just because the media have called him a Wonder Kid. This is the kind of crazy risk-taking you get here. I mean, that worked. Didn't I mean, that's turned out quite well. Beautiful. I'll take it. We didn't know he existed a few minutes ago. Now look at him. A natural box-to-box midfielder with 5 stars of potential, 3.5 stars of current ability. He's already played for Mexico. Ooh. Is that Chivas? Is that Deportivo Guadalajara? Are these my boys over in Mexico? That is Chivas, isn't it? Just admire him for a moment. Look at that. 18 years old. Ooh, lovely. He's going to be quite good. Right, we play Boa Vista. Let's give the new boy a debut. We've actually got a natural... But I tell you what, he's exactly the kind of midfielder we wanted. We've got so many tippy-tappy playmakery types. To have a natural box-to-box midfielder in there is exactly what we needed. And we still have the Thomas problem. Thiago Thomas does exist. He's just invisible. I promise you he's there. Look, if we swap them two around, he'll appear. But for whatever reason, Thiago Thomas on the left wing, entirely invisible at all times. We don't know why. He's either going to score. Oh, this is the cup. I was supposed to play the reserves. I guess we've reached the point of the cup where we can actually play the first team because Boa Vista are quite good anyway. So if that could be arranged, that would be super duper. Loving the 4-3-3 asymmetrical. It's not asymmetrical. It's very symmetrical. It's just invisible. Any match. I mean, going to the Barcelona match, we paid through the nose and got tickets. So, I mean, it is doable. It's just not like the Spurs match was a sellout and we got in there. So I guess I could go to Arsenal on Thursday. I'm just not that interested in the Europa League. These places that I would quite like to visit that have got meaning from the channel, and we can just go and do match day vlogs from there at some point. Mendes has just scored a 91st minute. I would love to go to a tour match. That would be amazing. Isn't it weird that your scout reports show a Sporting B player? It's a little bit weird, yeah. I didn't actually notice they were. Let me have a look. I wasn't looking at... Oh, that is weird. Well, he scouts quite well, doesn't he? So he's quite good. Should we buy him for 26 million? We can see what the CR7 box is. 200 euros. Oh, it comes with a shirt. A limited edition tribute to the best Portuguese. This comes in a 3XL. And I thought, am I going to have to get this one so that I can get a 3XL? Am I going to have to pay 200 euros and get a Cristiano Ronaldo box? It includes a debut game jersey replica, exclusive book the first 7 years in Portuguese. I want it in English. Match poster, ticket to the Sporting Museum, ticket to the CR7 Museum. I mean, it does get me a 3XL shirt. It seems like a very expensive way to do it. Semi-final draw then. It's Benny McCarthy's turned up to do the draw. Oh, Porto are still in it. I mean, old Gilly Vincent is probably a little bit worried that the big three are all here. They're just... Who invited them? This lot along. One of these things is not like the others. What? Who let them in? My word. We're going to lose to them now in the semi-final, aren't we? Oh, no. Benfica, which means we have to get past Porto. We're 30 games unbeaten. Easy peasy. So that's the match. Hold on. That's not the match we're playing there. So we're in two different semi-finals now. Oh, this is complicated. So that is... Okay. So this time Santa Clara are the ones who are there to make up the numbers and we play them. It's very complicated. First team hasn't played that much together anyways with that rotation you did early in the season. That is a good point, but... I feel like we should... we might go somewhere in between. Let's do more rotation. Go for a little bit of balance with it. We'll go halfway between the two in all competitions. So we're doing something right. Come on, then. Do a football. Yeah, exactly. I've only worn mascara like 5 times in my life. Football. Need to get Anna to come in every now and again and redo my makeup. I mean, I have a little bit of powder. I wouldn't exactly call it makeup. It's a little bit of powder. Anyone who works on camera would do the same. How are the gallstones? Gallstones are fine. I'm learning what my limits are with the gallstones. Me and Chris went out for dinner yesterday. We had a business meeting in a Turkish restaurant. I was just sensible with it. I didn't go nuts. I enjoyed some lovely falafel, some lovely hummus. I had 2 pieces of calamari rather than an entire plate. I'm learning this thing called moderation, which apparently thin people do naturally. And I've never really understood. But it's forcing me to learn moderation. It genuinely was a business meeting. We sat there in that restaurant and actually talked about work for most of the meal. Even if we'd have just talked about football and action figures, it still would have been a business meeting because, you know, that's how it works. But on this occasion, genuinely, we were talking about work. Keep the receipts a business expense. Don't need to. Already taken photos of them and imported them into my accounting app. They still haven't scheduled the next match, which is a little bit alarming. We might be playing 2 consecutive days. Right. So who are we going to sign? How much have we got? We're not using the Never Never. 5 million pines. There you go. He's come in with his 5-star potential still. So that is a result, really. As long as they come in with the 5-star potential, we've done all right. That's all we can hope for. So that's him in, straight into the under-23s. He's out. Galuba's signed his new contract, which is awesome. We don't want this old man on loan from Watford. I mean, is that how desperate things are? Is that how far below the English setup we still are? Here I am thinking we've actually got a chance to win something, but we could still take players on loan from Watford. Right, this fella, we might actually loan out because he's only 17. He's not played a single game for us, even when we've been doing rotating. So if they want to pay his salary, he can go out on loan and get half a season of game time playing for Aruca. What's the goal we're hoping to achieve with Sporting? I think we can certainly win the league and maybe win a European competition. We're not going to win the Champions League here, I wouldn't have thought. But if we could win the Conference League, win the Europa League, I think that'd be nice. Stay for 2 or 3 years like we have everywhere else. Here you go. Here's another lovely signing who's come in with his 5-star potential. So this is our young Brazilian, Leo. That'll do. And then Pato's going to come in as well. Win the lot and move on. Exactly. I mean, although I should imagine we're not going to win the Champions League. We'd certainly like to play in the Champions League and get an idea of where we feature. I mean, if we could win the Conference League this year and then have a run to like the quarterfinals, semi-finals of the Champions League next year, whilst winning the league both seasons, that probably is job done for Sporting. That's definitely a case of taking the club as far as we can, I think. And then we look to, I guess, look at Italy because it's been so very many years. It is the 1st of February. We're playing this match. We're still scheduled to play Benfica or Porto tomorrow in the final of this, but they've not played their semi-final yet. I think the game might be about to break. They don't play their semi-final until the 5th. We're due to play the winner of the match on the 2nd. How about a Berry Rebirth? I mean, that doesn't get a quarter of the views that Manchester City in non-league will get. I guess this would be 7 seasons before City will be winning the league again if they were tossed down to League One. I mean, they won't be going to League One, that's for sure. I'll stick them in the National League. Football! We are officially scheduled to play a match yesterday now. It's all fine. It's the 3rd of February. Our next match is yesterday. So now we have the final actually scheduled. Rather than being for yesterday, it is now scheduled for the 28th of April. I mean, that's much further away than yesterday. And it's not because their content isn't very good. It's because they don't game the algorithm and don't play the game, as in the YouTube game rather than the Football Manager game. Like it or not, the quality of the content, I mean, you need to be at a base level of quality for people to stick around. But the quality of the content isn't what the ones who are, I'm trying to phrase this in a way that doesn't make me sound really wangy. The ones who are successful aren't necessarily the ones who are making the best content. Your content has to be good enough to keep people engaged. But then what separates you from the people who don't get as many views as you is how well you do things like titles, thumbnails, how quickly you capture the attention at the start of a video, how well you, the SEO, how well you promote it, all that kind of stuff. As long as you're at the base level of content quality. This is turning into a content clinic here. We should do one of them soon. I haven't done one of them for ages. Ah, no! Oh, Samuel, you beautiful man. That's the thumbnail Daryl made for episode 16 of Barcelona Non-League to Legend. And I gave the exact same information I gave Daryl to the vidIQ thumbnail, AI thumbnail generator, so that it was part 16 of a Football Manager series with Barcelona. I gave a little bit of outline as what had happened in the video, and this is what it came up with. So we're not quite at the point where we can do AI thumbnails yet. It's a lot closer with the scripts and the titles. My particular favourite, I don't know whether my favourite bit is the fact that we've got Quakuten as the sponsor because they've replaced the R with a Q, or that everyone's favourite Barcelona player, Baena, has his name on the front of his shirt. I think Baena having his name on the front of his shirt is probably my favourite bit. Off centre as well. So yeah, if we go into today's video on the YouTube dashboard, for vidIQ subscribers, it now has the beta of the new AI thumbnail builder. So we can, I mean, we could do one for the match day vlog. So LOLLUJO and editor Chris do a match day vlog from the MK Dons versus Cambridge match. LOLLUJO was not happy. So this is the video that's coming out on Tuesday, probably. Here comes our AI generated thumbnails. Come on. And it's not quite what I had in mind. I mean, should we download that one and have a look at it? It's not quite what I had in mind. But we could, I guess we can try it. Well, Daryl, you don't need to make a thumbnail for the vlog. This one will be fine. I mean, that one's the least rubbish. We've got a roof on this stadium. And the poor guy has got 8 fingers and the only one that's straight is his thumb. Oh, his poorly hand. Look at my hand! The only thing I look at is the comparison screen for the best attack, defense, technical players. Is that on that same screen? Oh, comparison. Here we go. What the hell is this? What does this do? I mean, it's got graphs, so that's good, I guess. So attack. I don't know what I'm looking at. Right. I mean, the green bars are good. More green for me, please. There we go. I do love a graph. What does this one have? Ah! Oh God, this one's even worse. Who in history needs to know? I mean, what is this? Is this? Oh God. Oh God. This is. Oh. No. I need to get away from that. Is hideous. Right, we're playing the chavs now. And then the other Apollon. There should be victories incoming. As an autistic man, how the hell do I talk to women? I mean, as someone who is probably getting their autism diagnosis this week, I'm not the man to ask. No idea. With a lot of set rules. I mean, again, we're doing too much real advice tonight, but I have never, and this isn't just dating advice or talking to women advice, I have never spoken to a stranger at all. It's just, I don't do it. I've never had a conversation with a stranger. The only relationships, romantic or otherwise, I've ever formed with anybody have started either in a scenario where we're forced to communicate, i.e. work, uni, school, or they've been offline, like online initially. So social media or dating websites or forums or wherever it might be. No relationship, like I say, related, romantic or otherwise, there is no relationship in my life that started with me having a conversation with a stranger. Just don't know how to do it. My rule of thumb would be if you have to ask the question, then yeah, you probably should. Because in nearly 11 years with Anna, at no point have I thought, should I end this? So I would say if you're only 7 months in and you're not seeing them very often and you're not really communicating and you're thinking, shall I end it? The answer is probably yes. We might be about to lose our unbeaten record. And it's all because we've got a European game coming up next, so we're falling apart. I've played enough Football Manager to know there's a European game coming next. Oh, that was a risky little penalty. Oh. Well, I guess when we got a red card after less than a minute, not losing is about as much as we could have hoped for. The only problem is, because Porto have got 4 games in hand, that now means if they win all 4 of them, they go back to the top of the league. Because they are relentless. You guys not eat pasta with cream sauce in England? I mean, it's an option. I don't really go out of my way to do it. I mean, my first choice would be pesto. But then I guess tomato-y and creamy would... I mean, if I want something really fattening, I'm probably not going to waste that meal on pasta. By the time you've loaded up on all those carbs and then all that fat from all the creamy sauce, I might as well have a pizza or a cheeseburger, which are infinitely better than any pasta ever, because pasta is just a way to fill yourself up relatively cheaply, and no one will ever convince me otherwise. I have never in all my life gone to a restaurant and ordered pasta, because what is the point? Why am I going to pay restaurant prices for pasta? Pasta is just bulk to stop me being hungry without it costing a lot. All pasta is just bulk. Hi, Italians. How you doing? I mean, I'll go and fetch a tin of mackerel now. I always have one on hand. I'll sit here and eat mackerel. Love mackerel. Anna will murder me in the face for bringing that smell down the stairs. Like tuna, isn't it? Tuna's really dry and boring. And I did accidentally squirt a bit of eye juice onto Sheepdog's vegetarian paella across the table as well. I listen to much hip-hop. I mean, what do you think? What do you think? Do I look Spanish to you? I mean, if you're gonna try and spread butter straight from the fridge onto a piece of bread, you may as well just get the cheese grater out straight away and just grate the bread and then hack it up with a knife and just Oh, I've just submitted the team without checking it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, just stick the bread straight in the blender. Cut out the middleman. Don't waste the butter. Just stick the bread straight in the blender. You might as well. And I mean, I'm going back to the 80s here, not the distance past. I don't remember the day mayonnaise became a thing. But one day it was just mayonnaise was everywhere. Whatever happened to salad cream? I think it was like store-bought sandwiches that led to mayonnaise taking over. But yeah, he was fascinated by the fact that I was dipping slices of apple into peanut butter, which is a completely reasonable and normal snack that people eat at home. I don't understand. Thoughts on Twiglets? Outstanding. Cheez-Its are all right. They're a bit too cheesy. I'm a bit weird about cheese-flavoured snacks. I won't call them crisps. That's a whole thing. I once heard a person refer to What's-Its as crisps, and I mean, I could have gone to prison that day. I was so angry at them. Obviously, What's-Its aren't crisps. But yeah, cheese-flavoured snacks I'm always a bit wary of. I don't like Quavers or What's-Its or anything like that. I do like Cheddars. Cheddars are pretty good. Mini Cheddars. I like them. But yeah, Cheez-Lits, not that. No. A bit too cheesy. Probably my favourite crisps. We just ordered a big, it was like a box of unflavoured crisps. I forget what they were called. Spuddos or something. A big box of unflavoured crisps and then a few little pots of different flavours. And it came with some paper bags and we could make our own salt and shakes at home, but with different flavours. Right. Second leg against Apollon. I think we can stick the reserves out again. They did a good job away from home in the first leg. My word. At uni, there was an issue at the gym. We couldn't go into certain times where we went to a dessert place below it. That's amazing. I don't have a top-of-the-line coffee machine. You could afford one if you didn't waste all your money on coffee deliveries. You've seen the I haven't actually seen your invoice. Oh, God. What's on your invoice? Do I want to look? When have you sent me? Have you sent me an invoice today? Do I want to see this? Topher might be about to get fired on the stream. I'm logging into my email now. Oh, God, he has sent me... Oh, my word. What are all these attachments? Oh. When I said I'd cover your train, I didn't mean come by limo. My word. Did you get a supermodel to carry you to Milton Keynes? How is it that expensive? Good Lord. Live somewhere sensible. I could have driven you back and you'd have got home earlier. I'd have probably got home before you got home last night and it probably would have been cheaper. Then I'd have had to listen to your singing all the extra way. No one needs that in their life. I was looking at flights to Redacted this afternoon and they are cheaper than Chris spent on the train. Wasn't an option from Gainsborough. Although one of them is this size. Like I say, it's identical house to this one. So one of them is the size of my cupboard. This officially counts as a bedroom. Does it have 6? My bedroom doesn't have 16 bedrooms. It has 4 bedrooms. Inexplicably 4 bathrooms as well, which seems massively overkill. I've not seen one of our toilets in 18 months. Because we just use that as a storage room. Yeah, the house next door is identical to this one, but it's a mirror image. So if you did move there, Topher, which you should, your cupboard would be directly the other side of this wall from my cupboard. So we could just put in a little hatch. And then I could open the hatch and throw things at you and then close the hatch. The lock for the hatch would be on my side, so only I could do that. I could make sure you were working. Very awesome.